Good morning, Bishop Kenny, PE students. This is your man, Mr. Doherty here. Hope to give you a little lesson on some basketball. We got some terms and talk about some things that you do in basketball to be successful. I like to focus on the art of shooting, and I like to feel that with the proper form and technique, everyone can improve as a shooter. You know, my acronym I always start off with is BEEF. And BEEF is balance with your feet, elbow tight to your body, eyes, what do you look at, and then follow through. I'm reaching up, trying to put my hand in a basket, okay? So if just a simple technique, I'm sitting at home and I just want to work on my basketball skills, okay? All I have to do is have a basketball and sit in a chair, push it straight up and down, and catch the ball. And what I like to focus on is the nice spin. If you get good spin, it's going to grab the rim and possibly fall in. So when we talk about shooting, you know, we all think it's all your hands and that. It's like it really starts with your feet. So you want to make sure that you have a good balance, focused, directed towards the basket. And a good balance is shoulder width apart, athletic position, knees bent, ankles flexed. You know, relax so you have some good mobility. And when you're working on your basketball technique, you know, you can do it anywhere. I mean, I can sit in a chair and do it like I just demonstrated. You can do it lying on a floor and just shoot the ball straight up. Everyone thinks that when you to shoot, you need to go to the basketball hoop. Well, no, let's figure out how we can do things at our home so we can hopefully become a better shooter while we're here dealing with COVID. So as I stated before, balance with your feet, elbow tight to your body, eyes, what do I look at? Well, when you're looking at a basketball hoop, there's the net hanging off the hoop. I like to look at the little squirrely cues that are holding the net up. That is my target. So almost everywhere I go on a basketball court, when I look, I can find the spot that I can stare at. And the biggest thing is, keep your eyes on the target. Have faith that your body can master what you want it to do. Muscle memory is an amazing thing. And whenever you work on becoming a shooter, I like to start close to the hoop. So you're starting close to the hoop and just staring at the hoop and just pushing the ball up and putting it in. And you know, you'll realize, hey, you're going to make some, you're going to miss some. But if you work on a specific routine, when you miss, you can analyze what might have went wrong. So when I'm shooting my baskets, man, I start close to the basket. Now, some people might say to you, hey, well, I look at the little box on the hoop. Okay, I look at the box on the hoop only when I'm doing a layup, when I'm close to the basket and I'm putting it right up on the board, or I'm shooting a little short shot right on the square, on the floor. There's a little box there. It's used for foul shooting, and it designates where people can stand. If you're on the box, which they call it, if you're right there, then use the backboard. But for 99% of my shots, I don't use that board at all. I just shoot to put it in the basket. So when I'm shooting, I'm looking to make sure that I have good form and good spin. And you'll watch, you know, we've all sat in Bishop Kenny's gym. People grab the basketball, they run out to the three-point line, they jack it up, they miss 25 of them, then they make one and they look around to see, hey, who saw that? Did you see it? And it's like, at those moments in times, I'm always thinking that, you know, we're a little delusional in our shooting skills. We need to improve the shooting skills. Now, I also believe at Bishop Kenny, we have some very good shooters. I mean, man, people can shoot the basketball. And it's a testament to our teams and the people on the teams who are, you know, being successful. But for the general person who's not on the basketball team and maybe would like to be, you know, here's some things we can do to try to improve our skills. Now, in shooting, every time I get in a game with a group of 5 people, if I'm playing 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, whatever I'm playing with, I analyze my teammates. And I try to figure out what my job is. When I play with certain people who are better shooters than me, I'm going to get them the ball. If I pass the ball to them and they make it good, the next time I get the ball, I'm probably passing them again. I let people who are hot and are shooting well shoot. I'll figure out another way I can get the ball. Maybe I'm going to rebound. Maybe I'm going to play good defense. Maybe I'm going to set a pick. You know, and pick up basketball picks are some sort of a lost art. One is people don't understand what they need to do to set the pick. You know, when I'm on a basketball court and I have the basketball, and one of my teammates comes to set a pick, me as the man with the ball realize I cannot dribble until that guy is set. So I'll see it in the gym. Guys will come up and set a pick and they'll run into the defender. You can't do that. That's called a moving pick. You need to stop dead, and then once I see him stop dead, then I can run right off him, shoulder to shoulder, and create so the defender can't get through. And then you try to figure out, is the person who's got picked, is his defender going to pick you up, or are you going to be wide open for a layup or whatever the shot is? So I think there's some very good things in basketball, pickup basketball, that you can figure out just by playing. But until you get playing with better people, you sometimes don't know what the options are. Let's go back to the simple thing is dribbling the basketball. Okay. In basketball, if you want to move, you need to dribble the basketball. Okay. I dribble the basketball. I usually do it from the hand that's opposite the defender so that I can keep my body between the defender and the basketball. And I dribble, I push it down, I try to push it to about knee length. Okay? Knee to waist is where I want that ball to come up to. I want to keep a nice low dribble, and I want to push it down, and I'm using my fingertips, just like when I'm shooting, fingertips to push the ball down. I don't slap it. You know, that's babyish if you're slapping the ball and dribble it. No. You just use your fingertips, and it should be nice and soft. Push it down, extend it. And obviously, there's a million dribbling drills. You can dribble up and down the court, dribble back. You can do stop-start. You can dribble, come backwards, pull the ball back, change directions, crossover, behind the back. All these things, if you want to be a good dribbler, are important. And just do the drills. Go on any YouTube channel and type in basketball dribbling drills, and there's a million of them. And you can practice and practice and practice. As a good friend, college coach of mine, we were one time talking about basketball. And I said, Coach, when you're recruiting a player, you have two players of equal caliber, and you have one who is the better shooter. Which one do you take? He said, I always take the shooter. He said, you got to take people who can score baskets to play basketball. Okay? So, that's why I think that shooting is the most important skill you're going to have. Because even if you have limited mobility, you're not the quickest player, you're not the fastest. If you can shoot the ball, there's probably a spot on a team for you. Because they can figure out ways through their plays, through screening, through picking, that they can get you open. And I mean, there was a guy, some of you who follow college basketball, the Gators, might remember this name. His name was Lee Humphrey. And he's a friend of mine and a friend of a guy who coaches in Europe, who coached Lee there. And Lee was amazing. And he got in the NCAA tournament. He's like a freshman or sophomore. Now, he's a small kid, I want to say, from like Indiana or Minnesota, some Midwestern state, where he got recruited to Florida. And so he's in the game, and he's playing with like Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah. All these guys were future NBA stars. And he's in a game, and he's shooting, and he's not on. So the next time he gets the ball, he looks at the hoop, doesn't shoot, passes it, pass. They finally call a timeout. And all the players just look at Lee, and they're like, Lee, you're on the court to shoot the basketball. That's all you need to do. We have faith that you can score the basket. You're the best shooter on the floor, shoot the ball. And everyone else rallied around him, and it gave him the confidence to know, okay, when I get it, I'm shooting. Lee ended up in the NCAA tournament having possibly the highest percentage shooting in the NCAA tournament. I think that's still a record. So, amazing man, amazing shooter. He actually still lives in Jacksonville. But, so, you want to be a better shooter, okay? So again, let's go back to our BEEF acronym. B, balance, E, eyes, E, elbow, and then F for follow through. Okay? 1, if you look at this basketball in my hand, see how it is not sitting on my palm. I don't put the ball here. You'll see people who do that, and they're usually not very good shooters, and they usually push the ball. We're going to get it up on our fingertips. And I like this ball because it sits up nice and high. Okay? And now, if I just want to push it and spin it, I can do that. And that's what we're looking to do. See the spin. Can you get the ball to spin? Okay. So when I'm doing that sitting down, you can do it all the time. You don't need a hoop. Don't think in order to be a better basketball player, you need to go find a hoop somewhere. Shoot, the hoop is certainly important and certainly great to validate what we're working on. But the next thing maybe you do is you lay down on the ground. As if I was laying down, and I just shoot the ball up. And you just want the ball. Now, if you're doing this in your house and you have beautiful vases and all this stuff around your house, maybe don't do it in that area. Maybe you go outside, maybe you go out on your front porch, somewhere where you're not going to damage anything. I have amazing talent, so I'm not worried about it. If I do put it through the window, then guess who has to buy it? I do. Okay, so I'm just going to push the ball up and have it come right back down. And I mean, when I say do this, it's not do it 10 times, it's do it 50 times, do it 100 times, do it on every commercial. You know, you want to make sure that you can get that ball to spin and do what you want it to do. And your muscles have to tell it. Your arm, hey, touch my body every time. Push it straight up. Follow through. Reach up and get that follow through. Okay? And hold your arm there. A lot of people like to shoot and then pull their arm back. And they're pulling their hand back even before the ball leaves their hand. We want to shoot it and leave it up there. And again, like everything else, have confidence that it's going to go in. You know, whenever you're dribbling, just have confidence that you know what you're doing. Okay? Now, think about basketball, especially in pickup. There's only one basketball in all sports, in any game you play. Okay? If you want to be a shooter, you need to put the time in away from the game. You need to focus on it. You need to be able to deliver. You need to be able to be the guy who can make the basket. So when you're playing in a pickup basketball game, you know, if you shoot all the time, maybe people aren't going to pick you up unless you're making it all the time. You know, but a lot of people have this high perception of what they are, and the results don't lie in sports. You either did it or you didn't, and hopefully you're going to be a person who can do it. So that's our start of our lesson today on basketball. I also want to talk about the homework that I put out there for all of you. Okay, it's a worksheet. Okay, you can go on any website and try to find the answers. Down at the very bottom of the worksheet is there's a word bank. So just read it, try to analyze what it is. Okay, you know, it's gonna be all basic terms. So let's just talk about them all. Okay, one of the terms is a jump ball. If you've ever been to any basketball games at Bishop Kenny, they start the game with a jump ball. A jump ball is where two opposing players stand side by side, and the official tosses the ball up, and that starts the game. In historical basketball, jump balls used to be used more often. It was anytime the ball got held up. So when you're seeing the gym and there's two guys wrestling on the floor and they're fighting for the basketball and it goes on for like 5 minutes, and you're like, what are they doing? Well, that's called a held ball, and they would normally have a jump ball. But in basketball these days, we have a change of possession clock. So every time, if you won the initial tip, the possession error goes to the other team. So the next time there's a held ball, they just give it to the other team, then it rotates back and forth. So that is a jump ball. Goaltending. Okay, we want you to understand that in basketball, that hoop is 10 feet high. 10 feet high. So, is there a chance you have somebody who can jump higher than 10 feet? Sure. As the size and people have gotten bigger and bigger, you see Garrett Beagles, guys like that are up there dunking the ball all the time. Yeah, they're above 10 feet. So, goaltending is when I shoot the ball and it's on a downward descent towards the basket and somebody goes up and hits it away. That's called goaltending. They're not allowed to do that. Okay, so goaltending is a violation, and typically it's just the basket is good and then the other team gets the ball. Goaltending can also be when the ball's sitting on the rim. If it's sitting on the rim, you're not allowed to touch it. There's an invisible cylinder that goes straight up to the ceiling that, protects that basketball. So that is goaltending. A layup is that basketball thing where you see the person dribble real close to the hoop and just stride up. They do kind of like a skip technique and they just lay the ball up on the board. That is called a layup. An air ball is a foreign term to me if you play basketball because I usually don't ever do it. An air ball is when you shoot the ball and it doesn't hit anything, it just hits the ground. So you shoot, you're expecting it to hit the rim, the bank board, somewhere, and it just falls to the ground. They call that an air ball. That's usually if you've ever gone to Bishop Kenny games and the opposing team does it, everyone's chants, air ball, air ball. You know, they think it's hilarious. Okay, to dribble. Dribbling is how we move in a basketball game. You dribble the ball and you can move. If you don't dribble the ball, you cannot move. Okay, dribbling is how we are able to move in the court. An alley-oop. An alley-oop is where I toss the ball up near the hoop and somebody grabs it and puts it in. So it's kind of like a pass up near the hoop and then the person either puts it in. Now, the best is when you have an alley-oop slam dunk is where I throw it up there, they catch it and they slam it in the basket. That's typically the best thing we're looking for on an alley-oop. Okay, the term rebound. Rebound is where somebody shoots the ball, and once it does not go in the basket, the person jumps up and grabs it. Okay, you can have an offensive rebound. If you're the team trying to score the basket and you continue and you grab the ball, that would be an offensive rebound. A defensive rebound is when the defensive team rebounds the ball. People who can rebound are very important in basketball. And usually when I would play pickup basketball and I'd find somebody who's a good rebounder, I'd always want to pick them because, hey, I'm a shooter. I need somebody to rebound if I miss. Free throw, okay, that is where I get fouled in the act of shooting, or after the team has committed 10 fouls, they award free throws also. Free throw is the line where we normally shoot if we're just playing knockout or something like that. They have the free throw line. I stand on that line and everyone fills in the sides. There'll be 3 other people on each side, 2 on the defensive team and 1 on the offensive team, and we line up for a free throw. Free throw, there is no defense against it. It's just me shooting at that hoop. And they have one-on-ones, meaning if I wasn't shooting and it's just after 10 fouls or prior to 10 fouls, after a foul, I might get awarded a one-on-one. So it's between after 7 fouls, you get one-on-ones. So I shoot. If I make the first one, I'm awarded a second free throw. If I miss, whoever gets the rebound, we just continue to play the game. Double dribble. Double dribble is when I dribble the basketball, put 2 hands on it, and I dribble again. You're allowed to dribble once, meaning dribble, 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 pick the ball up. I can't dribble again. Okay? Traveling. Traveling is a violation when I move my feet without dribbling the basketball. You know, double dribble, traveling, these are things that happen in the course of a basketball game, but they're not very often. It's more at the younger ages where the people don't understand what they're doing, or they try to do a trick dribble or something and they get caught up and they end up moving their feet without it. So, you know, traveling and double dribble, 2 things. So hopefully that gives you a basic idea on all the terms that are on that worksheet. The worksheet will be due Tuesday at midnight or something. I think I have it listed. So make sure you go through, fill in those terms, and if you need to go online and get a little more information to try to figure out the terms, more power to you. Today at 9 o'clock I'll have office hours from 9 to 9:15. Hopefully you can get on there and want to chat, or if you have something pressing issue or you need to discuss something, we can talk about it. So this is lesson 1 this week, and it's on basketball. The next lesson I'm going to do, I believe, is going to be on CPR. We're going to try to figure out how we can instruct you on CPR, hands-free, hands-only CPR, and the AED. And obviously, neither of us have the mannequins or the AED trainer. So we're probably going to actually try to utilize your phones as the AED trainer, and we'll put, if you have headphones, we'll put those on, and that will give you the 2 wires that you can act like, okay, I put this here, I put this here, and I got the AED. But we'll just be going through the steps of CPR and trying to get you an understanding so that if there were an emergency or some type of situation, that you have the basic skills to be successful. Well, I hope you like this first video lesson, and I will post it on Schoology, and hopefully you guys find it and watch it and enjoy it. It's out there for everyone to see. So look for it on Schoology today, and I hope you have a great day. and I'll post my second video later on today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.